every hour that I spend down on bending knees, screaming to the sky saying let me be. Now I am grateful, so grateful for every single one of my lost friends who travel through tunnels with no light at the end. I am thankful, so thankful for every day that I awake and the sun comes up, for the woman that I love and the tea in my cup, for the kids that I'm raising that help raise me, for the man that I was and the one that I'll be, yeah. These are some beautiful days we're living here, and I couldn't be more thrilled with the skin I'm here. I said I'm present and grateful for that I got, and the love keep me moving, said the love keep me moving, cause there ain't no need to stop.
Good morning. So today is, or afternoon or evening, whatever it is by you. Today is the 9th of June 2023. I'm here in my favorite spot at home. Just made a nice cup of coffee, and I went down to the, I don't know if it's wrong to say it like this, but the Pakistani guy at the Yellow Door store in Fishhoek, and he sells my smokes, and his wife makes the most amazing samosas and fudge, and what they call a Fishhoek. It's like a ball, and they sell it for $5, 5 South African bucks, which is like 25 cents in American mullahs. But yeah, so, and I buy my my real South African cigarettes there. And now this one, it says can kill you, so I've got to be careful with this pack. But nonetheless, so then I went to the beach, and there's a little coffee, somebody at, there's like a attorney's office next to the Yellow Door store, and they opened a coffee shop. Maybe they're not selling property, so they decided the coffee shop will make more money than property. But anyway, so they sell a cup of Americano for $20, 20 South African bucks, and I bought a little cup of Americano there, and pretty good coffee actually. And then I set off to Glencairn Beach to just enjoy the ocean a bit. The waves are quite big, the swell is big, and but there's not much action going on there, and the road is noisy and whatever. And yeah, so I decided to come back home, but on my way back I stopped at Valleyland, which is now the place in Fishhoek, the buzz center. This is where everything happens. It's a little mall here in the middle of the valley, and it is the place where all the school kids go after school, and most Fishhoekers shop there. There's a Spar and a Mica, which is hardware, and different property place, of course, and a pet store, a photo shop. Yeah, best photo shop in the valley, belongs to my friend Pete, and it's called Photo First Fishhoek or Photo First Valleyland or something. Pop in there if you're ever in Fishhoek, you must go. And he does everything, does prints, very good advice. He's a professional photographer, and he also prints those canvas prints and whatever. Sells antique photography equipment, new equipment. Very good chap, cool store. And then there's obviously a bottle store. What is there? Takeaway place, pizza place, Sandy's Bistro, like a little breakfast coffee place, and obviously the Tears charity store where you can buy a book for $5 and you can buy a DVD for $10 and a CD for $5. Really good, and a lot of books. If you're into books, that's a place to stop. So yeah, now the people at the My Car, which is the hardware store there, they are wondering what I'm doing, because every now and then I pop in there and then I go have a look at the LED ceiling mounted lights, and after a while there's a guy that comes around and asks me if he can help me, and I say, I'm still looking at these lights, and I'm planning now to replace all my my old-fashioned lights here with these ceiling lights, which are actually all-inclusive. It's like a frame with a LED light source in the middle, and a little power supply and whatever, and you can replace your ceiling or even a wall-mounted light with these. But what he doesn't know is I'm actually planning a new product. I've got a new product idea. So I bought 2 of these lights in the other mall, Sun Valley Mall, or what's it, Long Beach Mall, at the value store, and they were quite cheap. The one was 50 Rand and the other one was 60 Rand, but I think they are not suited for my product. The idea is to actually have a look at it and see what I can do with a finished product and then add value to it. I won't say today what the product is all about, because it's way too far in the future, maybe not that far, but so a client contacted me from United Arab Emirates, and he wanted to have like a wall-mounted product, and I started thinking, and looking at what's available in the market in terms of enclosures and whatever. I got the idea that I can start off with one of these commercial ceiling lamps. They are mass produced, and I'll definitely be able to buy them bulk from the importer or the supplier, and then I'll add some electronics to it to make a new product. So at the moment I don't have the cash flow I had to choose, am I buying a ceiling lamp today, or am I shopping for excuse me, am I shopping for food? So I still have some coffee here, some beans, and I put the beans back today because then I could buy eggs and a bit of cheese and 2 potatoes, 2 tomatoes, a loaf of brown bread, seeded brown bread, 6 eggs, what else did I get? And 2 liters of milk. Big moo cow, sorry for the vegans. But anyway, so then I always spend a little time there in the parking lot of Spa before I go home. I light a smoke and look at the people. So today was interesting, maybe not so much, but it's been raining for almost, I think, 2 weeks now, and of course the rain is a blessing, because the Cape is actually a dry area, and we've had a huge problem with water not too long ago, a couple of years, and so water is good, dams must fill up, and because when they don't, then we're stuck. So it is a blessing, but if you want to be outside and enjoy the sun, there's none of that. So anyway, today I want to actually, after that big waffle, talk a little bit about South Africa and Ukraine. So I don't know who's following the news, but recently the dam wall of Nova Kakhovka dam, let me see, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct, Nova Kakhovka dam was breached, and that whole floodplain below the dam is currently being flooded, and obviously that's now in Ukraine, in the south, and yeah, everybody, I mean, obviously the Russians are blaming the Ukrainians and the Ukrainians are blaming the Russians, but obviously there's no interest for the Ukrainians to blow up their own dam. I have a suspicion it might have been a foul up, because I think the Russians, as far as I could gather from all the news I was watching, the Russians did mine this dam or plant explosives there, and it might have gone off by accident, or maybe some I wanted to say idiot set it off by mistake. Yeah, so there could be various things, but I don't think it was planned by the Ukrainians. What the message is today is actually the thing between South Africa and Ukraine and Russia, of course. Let me just get this. So this is not a political observation, actually, it's an apolitical. But sometimes when I watch the news, and obviously the newsreader starts off with, you know, something like there's rumors that South Africa supplied, you know, ammunition to Russia because there was a Russian ship that docked here in Simonstown, just around the corner, and they think that they loaded probably artillery, what do you call it, cartridges into this ship, and you know, now it's all the way on off to Russia, and we are supporting Russia. Excuse me. Number one, if you talk about South Africa in that context, you're actually talking about perhaps the South African government, which might be pro-Russian because of historical reasons, mostly because during the struggle years, which was, I think, kind of in the early 90s, they were supported by Russia. And obviously they would show some kind of alignment or what do you say, sympathy towards Russia. Oh yeah, there's a train going down there in Fishhoek. So, but now if you talk about the average South African like myself, we don't support excuse me, we don't support the war. The South African, how can I say, the average South African, the general South African, just like I think some of the general Russians don't support the war. But I think here at the moment in South Africa, our biggest challenge every day is our load shedding, which is the rolling blackouts. We try to do business in between all these rolling blackouts. Most people are focused on trying to get some kind of a backup supply going so that the whole house doesn't go dark. I have a kind of a backup system, but it uses AGM cells, so what happens is it doesn't get enough time to fully charge, and then normally the blackouts are 2 hours long, and just 10 minutes before the blackout is finished, my battery is now level is low, and the thing cuts off. And then it gives me this low power alarm, which is quite annoying. I feel like pulling out that little buzzer there. But anyway, nonetheless, most South Africans have that problem. And as you might know, we also have a huge segment of our population living under the poverty line, or I don't know how you say it, under the poverty line, on the poverty line, in poverty. Basically, they don't eat a meal every day. So yeah, I'm not sure if they even can watch the news, and know what's going on in Ukraine. And so very hard times for that segment of our society. So if you say, yeah, South Africa is supporting Russia, no, we're not. I think it's just my opinion, but I think most people are not impressed with this war. They are sympathetic towards Ukraine, simply because it's just not cool to attack your neighbor, like invade their country and blow the whole place up. I mean, the way they go about it is just terrible. So many loss of lives, innocent people just suffering from indiscriminate missile strikes. This whole war is actually completely unnecessary. Well, obviously I'm not there, don't know all the facts, but there must be a better way to solve a thing like this. So yeah, whoever's modus operandi or idea is what I want to achieve, sorry man, not that way. So yeah, if you then want to talk about South Africa, you could rather say the South African government, which is our government works interesting. We have the national ruling party, which is the ANC. Then there's also provincial leadership, and then there is also, like in the city, like the party that governs the city. Now the Western Cape, where I live, is governed by the provincial government. Is the what is it? The something alliance, DA. The what is it? Democratic Alliance. And I think they also have won elections in cities in the north, in Gauteng, maybe Johannesburg, in Pretoria, and maybe some other cities, but mostly they govern our city and our province, and I think some parts of Eastern Cape, I'm not sure. You could actually look up the figures. But nonetheless, the leader of the DA went to Ukraine for a visit to see what's going on there. So obviously he is not supporting the war. And like most other countries, we don't think, or other people perhaps, we don't think it's a good idea to just blow another country up and invade them. It's their sovereign land, and if it's not yours, don't try to take it. There could be no good coming from it. So I just think of all the destruction and things that cannot be repaired, like all the lives lost, all the heartache and the lifestyle the Ukrainians have, like sorry for laughing, but I mean, if you think about it, the Ukrainians kick ass because the Russians try to blow up their infrastructure daily, and before you know it, it's fixed again. Like they have rolling blackouts for a couple of days, and then it's back to back to business. And yeah, in South Africa, where we have the ANC, they have no bombs falling on it, but there's such a corruption game going on there that they just can't keep the electricity going. The money that's supposed to go to maintenance, expansion of the system, it just disappears. And there are problems with fuel. So let's hope sooner or later, maybe rather sooner, we could vote in some more people who are actually competent and don't pull for the money off in different directions, lining their own pockets and actually delivering the service. So yeah, but anyway, so yeah, I think we as South Africans in general do not support the war. I'm not sure what's happening with the politicians, with ANC government. They are a little bit pro-Russian, I think, and that's because of the historics. But not everyone there, and it's definitely not. I think there's just a history there. So yeah, I hope they get their act together and see things the way they are. And so, because I think this will affect the country economically, it's just one misunderstanding could create big damage, like mess up the exchange rate, sabotage investment, local investment, whatever, it can't be a good thing. Yeah, so that's today for Gratitude Economy. On a personal level, not much has changed, but I've got a new product idea. I've changed my prices of my other product a little bit, and since the economy is suffering with the rolling blackouts, I've lowered the prices because I think all businesses are suffering a little bit. And I hope to put out some Google ads. Let's hope Google ads work. I'm getting some clicks on them. I think I've made a few sales, but I think the product was priced a little bit too high because someone would ask for a quote for like 10 units and then they order one. And then the other thing I want to do is create some YouTube videos, so explain how it works, and also just film the little thing while it's alarming, so that you can see how it sounds or hear how it sounds and kind of know what you're buying. Because I think the review of a product is nowadays very important. People want to go see and watch a review. Because then they know what it is. So yeah, this weekend I'm going to work on that a bit. I was actually waiting for good light all week, and I eventually decided to upgrade the lights in my kitchen back here, and yeah, we'll see. So that's it for me for this week. Still keeping going. Got bread, good stuff, got coffee, paid a little bit of things, and yeah, I'm gonna also get rid of everything that doesn't serve a purpose. I've been a little bit slow on that side. I should take photos, and I've done some, but make another effort, read that market to see what will sell at what price. And then I could pay some more stuff off, and just keep everyone around me happy. And yeah, then also spend a bit of money on my new product development. But yeah, I'll keep you posted. And yeah, I'll say onward and upwards. But yes, still very grateful for this process, and yeah, it is what it is. It's a learning process. It's how it is. I'm going with the flow, and it's always about gratitude, you know. Be grateful for what you have, especially in a country like ours. I mean, really, there's some people are really having a hard time coping, and it's winter now, it's wet. So some people sleep outside under, you know, on the street. So that's not cool. And hopefully, yeah, in the future, our economy will pick up, be more jobs, more money for, you know, taking care of our poverty line. Make sure that things get better. Always hopeful and always grateful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.
These are some beautiful days we're living in, and I couldn't be more thrilled with the skin I'm in. I said I'm present and grateful for that I got, and the love keep me moving. Said the love keep me moving, 'cause there ain't no need to stop. La da 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 da. Yeah. No need to stop. 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 No need to stop.